to First Take, partying like it's 1999, these Knicks fans. New York going back to the NBA Finals. The Knicks have won 11 straight games in the postseason, and it started in Game 4 of the first round against the Hawks. Despite trailing in the series 2-1, New York won each of the next 3 games by 15 or more points to advance to the East semis. In those semis, the Knicks met the 76ers. They showed no signs of slowing down. In a sweep, the Knicks finished off the Sixers in Philadelphia by scoring 144 points in Game 4, their most in a playoff game in franchise history. A date with the Cavs followed in the conference finals, but it was a quick one. The Knicks completed another sweep and will enter the finals with a plus 19.4 points per game differential, the highest in NBA history. And so now the question is, I can't believe I'm asking this question, but I'm going to do it. Is this Knicks finals run the best finals run ever? Stephen A. Smith, go ahead. Like in all of the NBA.
What's up, y'all? What's good?
Jay Wells here.
Jay, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man.
I see you, Cam. I see you with the suit today, SA. Always looking fly.
Good to see you, man.
I was thrown by the question. Go ahead, Stephen A.
I love my New York.
Don't do it.
You all know that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I can't say yes to this. I'm going to say the answer to this is no.
Thank goodness.
It's nice to see them doing what they're doing, but they're not the 2017 Golden State Warriors.
Absolutely.
That won 15 straight before losing Game 4 to LeBron and Kyrie dropping 40 and LeBron having 31 before they won that series in 5 games. That's not what happened. And so I look at that run and how historic that was with Kevin Durant arriving in Golden State for the first year. I'm thinking about 2001 Los Angeles Lakers where the Diesel was in his prime with Kobe and the crew. And they lost one game, won like 12 straight or whatever, lost the game in the NBA Finals. Allen Iverson, whatever it was, dropped 48. And then, you won the rest of your games. And of course, you look at Moses Malone in Philly and with Dr. J and Tony and Cheeks and those boys, he said 4-4-4, it ended up being 4-5-4, whatever. But, the New York Knicks have been impressive. They deserve a lot of credit, no doubt about that. But when you look at the level of competition, when you look at the greatness of those teams, when you see who they were going against and what they did and how dominant they were, I can't call this run by the New York Knicks the greatest. I can't do that.
Stephen A., you've been in the sun, man. I see how your complexion getting close to here. Okay,
No. They it's the orange and blue skies, and then they touch me up with a little darker to make me look a little orange. That's all it is.
Okay, I like it though. It's a good look. It's a strong look.
Oh, no, but I'm going to be in the sunshine.
Yeah.
Whether it's San Antonio or OKC, it gets hot in those places. And New York is steaming, obviously, right now. It'll be official once I arrive back in town.
Okay.
I'm happy to hear you agree on that because I was about to lose my mind if you had said it had been the best runs ever. First off, you need to complete the deal, which I'm glad you said that because the Lakers, Golden State, they completed the deal. I guess the thing, because I got asked this on the last show about, is this one of the best runs we've ever seen? I think it has, the point differential is separate to me than the actual run itself against the quality of competition. Right? Not all championships, Cam, are created equally here if they're able to pull that through. Now, Philly, with the way Joel Embiid was, Atlanta, with the way Atlanta was, watching Cleveland go through 2 Game 7s, be a shell of themselves, that credit is still on the Knicks for beating up on their opponent and taking their lunch money when the opportunity comes about. Even if they win against the Spurs or OKC, I still can't look at this Knicks team and say, it may be one of the greatest runs that we've seen because of the way it makes it feel because they're a team. They're not as star-driven, but you have to complete the deal for that to happen. I still don't know if I can say it's one of the best runs I've ever seen because of how dominant they've been against a conference that I don't feel like has measured up to the Western Conference as relates to just power conference in general.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Golden State. When they acquired KD, but they acquired KD after winning 73 games. That's the best run you've been on. The reason why this is an interesting question, right, Jay, right, Stephen A., is because we expected Golden State to do that. We expected the Lakers that you brought up that I actually forgot about, Stephen A., to do that. We're not expecting the Knicks to go on an 11-game winning streak, and I didn't get a chance to get this take last segment, but we're sitting there, Stephen A. had mentioned how Well, look, it's not the Atlanta Hawks. We seen them beat up the Sixers. We seen what they did to the Cavaliers. It's not the New York Knicks' fault they pulled the belt out and spanked them dudes. It's absolutely not their fault. They played the level of competition that was in front of them, and after game 3 against the Atlanta Hawks, it was BTA. The rest of the way. The rest of the way, it was BTA. So we're sitting there saying, and I'm agreeing with it, the competition is going to be different when you play against Shea or pardon me, the alien, when you get to the championship. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying it's the greatest player run, but it's very unexpected. And they broke a lot of records along the way, so I do want to give the Knicks some credit. But greatest ever, I got to go with the Golden State Warriors, but that was kind of a foregone conclusion after you win 73 games the prior season.
It sounded like, Stephen A., it kind of sounded like you and Jay Will kind of co-signed to this. If they actually win the finals, you might consider it the best run in NBA history.
No, it doesn't sound like that. No.
I did a little bit.
I still would do it because ultimately, listen, in the world of competition, you have to take into account the competitor. And when you look at the Atlanta Hawks, the Philadelphia 76ers, and these Cleveland Cavaliers, less about Cleveland and more so about Philly and Atlanta, the road to prosperity was relatively easy to travel. And that's what you have to take into consideration and into account. Not much was expected from either of those teams this year. And that's how you got to look at it. We're Golden State, L.A., the path that they had to go through to get to where they were. They just ramrodded folks. They were very, very dominant. But those were pretty damn good teams they ended up taking out. And that's what you have to look at.
Are you saying the East is weak?
The East is weak. I think the East is weaker than the West this year, no question.
Okay.
Conspicuously so.
Right.
But in the past, that wasn't the case.
Okay.
Cam, I will say this, though. Like 118 Nick point differentiation in elimination games on the road against the Hawks, 76ers, and Cavs. Yes, the East is down. But if they complete the deal, let's not forget the 5 first-round picks that the world was about to implode on.
That's right.
When they went from Mikal Bridges.
It was me.
I know, not just you.
Me.
I was part of it too now. I was with you too.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about where we just were with Karl Anthony Towns when he had a lot of silly fouls, and now he's playing a lot better. Let's not forget where we were with Jalen Brunson last year and Thibodeau. Let's not forget where we were a month ago, S.A. and Cam. A month ago, on a lot of our friends' text groups, chats, Steve and I remember some people were ready to blow it up. Ready to blow it up. So, sometimes when we say best run doesn't mean by dominance now. It could, if they close the deal, it could be one of those things where you're like, damn, I've never seen, they beat them like that? Cam, you said beat it A, right? BTA. That's what they've been doing. So at some point, if they find a way to do it in the finals,
right,
we're going to have to put some serious respect on that now.
Well, first of all, we're not lacking respect now. We're not lacking respect now.
One of the best in NBA history. One of the best.
But I will tell you this, Shay. I will tell you this, Shay and Jay. Here's the deal. If you handle your business against San Antonio or OKC in similar fashion to what we saw you do running through the East, you are absolutely right. It's a different conversation. There's nobody on earth that's anticipating that becoming a reality. Great. Even if the New York Knicks win the series, first of all, they're going to come into the finals as an underdog. Secondly, if they win the championship, people are going to be looking at a 6-7 game series, a thriller, whatever, because of who San Antonio and OKC have proven to be. If the New York Knicks go into the NBA finals and they treat the San Antonio Spurs or the Oklahoma City Thunder like they were the Atlanta Hawks or the Philadelphia 76ers or the Cleveland Cavaliers, that's when the conversation becomes very, very different because nobody on earth anticipates that happening. Nobody.
But
even
the
with
Spurs have not won a championship yet. I know Wemby is a freak, but you're talking about teams that face LeBron or Michael Jordan. Wemby is a fantastic player, and he'll become that. But the best run ever, the Spurs haven't even won anything, and Oklahoma City has won one.
You're gonna have a different conversation because you didn't look at the Knicks that way. The Knicks don't have LeBron. Brunson's big time, and Brunson has proven to be every bit as legit as we had hoped, if not exponentially more so. But when you look at the rest of the team, you understand you got a lot of parts around you where a whole bunch of cats have been doing their job and doing it exceptionally well. and deserve all the credit in the world for it. You're looking at them like that. But it's not LeBron. It's not Shaq and Kobe. It's not Duncan with Ginobili and Tony Parker and the crew.
Exactly.
It's not that that's going on. And so when you look at the Knicks, if they were to go up and you're going up against the alien at 7'5" and he's swatting everything out and he's averaging 30, or you're going up against a reigning two-time league MVP with Shea Butter, who, by the way, gets A.J. Mitchell back in the finals and gets J-Dub back in the finals, and you got your crew, and the New York Knicks handle that the way they handled stuff in the East, we're going to have to put them in that conversation without question. We're going to have to put them in the conversation as one of the greatest runs.
If they sweep, which is...
All I'm going to say is the Knicks' best star player is a second-round draft pick.
That's right.
And this does have a March Madness-like feel to it. That's what makes
Isn't
it...
Karl Anthony Towns the number 1 overall pick?
Yeah, but
Yes.
Brunson is the guy who's delivering the body blows. He's the
You're acting like
star.
they don't have talent on that roster. Like, they have a lot of talent on that roster.
I didn't say they don't have talent. I said they're star players.
You have talent, but not only that, Shay, we're not just talking about Wembanyama. We're talking about a guy in Stephon Castle who's a dog. We got, Vassell who can ball. You got De'Aaron Fox, who's an all-star caliber point guard. You got Dylan Harper, who's the number 2 overall pick in the draft that has really, really shown what he can do. You see youth, you see length, you see athleticism, you see depth, you see defensive prowess, and it's in a Western Conference that's universally recognized as being significantly superior to what we've seen in the East this year. So everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are looking at the Western Conference as the finals. They're looking at OKC San Antonio as the NBA Finals, similar to what we did years ago when the Lakers played the Nets in the finals. We saw the Lakers versus Sacramento in the Western Conference Finals, and it was a foregone conclusion, whether it was Shaq with Ori and Kobe and Derek Fisher and everybody else, or it was C-Webb with Bibby and Stojakovic and Vlade Divac and the crew. You knew